Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to want to talk about preparing for the next patch, which is going to bring the first Legion raid with Valtan, and things that you want to look out for, things that you're going to want to be prepared for, and in case you want to be able to do that content, things that you should be looking forward to and doing in the next few weeks until the update goes live. And I'm going to look at a few activities and a few things that we need to focus on, and this is going to be particularly for the Paladin class. I'm not going to talk in general about roster activities that you should be working on or whatever targets you should set for yourself with your alts. This is something that you can decide for yourself depending on your time and the resources that you have. I'm just going to talk about specifically a few things that we can look at and look forward to when it comes to the future content that's coming towards our way. And first of all, the thing that we need to focus on, of course, in order to be able to do the next batch of content, is going to be to reach at least item level 14-15, which is the requirement for normal Valtan entrance, and it's also the requirement for the first level of Chaos Dungeon in South Vern, which we're going to have as well. And of course, in order to do that, there are a lot of resources that we have available to us at this point. There's a lot of resources through the Arc Pass. If you haven't completed this, you should work on getting it in the next few weeks. We still have the event with Guardian raids ongoing until the 19th of May. So you should be working on that one as well in order to get as many materials as possible. Farm your boss rushes for leapstones. Farm South Vern and the dungeon in there for resources as well, and just keep honing and keep pressing on that item level, on the item level in order to reach at least 14-15. As you know, the next breakpoint for gear score is 1445, which is going to be for Valtan hard mode. So if you also want to push for that, there's still a bit of time. I'm gonna try and see if I can push for that as well. Once we have this done, there's another thing that we should be looking at in terms of just the Paladin class itself and future progression with the Paladin. As you know, and I've touched on this in my previous video, Paladins work really well with 3 engravings, and if you've managed to get 3 engravings on your Paladin and you're also set on the combat stats with swiftness and a bit of specialization, you're on the right track and you're ready to go into the next content. However, we are going to be introduced with Relic gear, so the maximum amount of engravings that you can have on these new accessories is going to be +5 +3, which means that there's going to be opportunities to make some gold from engravings and so on. And I want to talk about what engravings we should be looking for, either to get for ourselves and make our character better, or engravings that are going to be useful to sell and possibly make some gold with it as well. After the first 3 base engravings that you're going to have as a Paladin, so you're going to have Awakening, you're going to have Expert, and you're going to have Blessed Aura. These are the 3 main ones that I'm sure that you've been working towards, and you probably already have them. There are a few directions that people can take in order to further develop their character, and the first option is drops of ether. This is something that helps buff your party even more, in addition to your character's buffs already. So this is something that you can be looking towards, and something that some supports and some paladins are going to be using. The next one is Spirit Absorption. This is another very good engraving, as it compensates for attack speed and movement speed, and I'll discuss why this is very good. Another one that people are looking towards is Vital Point Hit. This helps with breaking staggers on different bosses, and as we move on with the Legion encounters, we're gonna need to bring our A game when it comes to stagger checks. So having effectiveness on stagger is a good point for support. And the last one that people are looking for when it comes to Paladin, the other option is Heavy Armor. This is a very good buff in terms of survivability, It's something that people look for as it increases your defenses greatly. Now, whenever you're gonna find accessories that either have two of these four options, or have any combination of your class specific engraving and any other engraving. So any combination of these is something that you should be looking out for, and it's something that you might be able to sell for a good price if you're looking to make some gold. If you want to progress your character and you're looking for a fourth engraving to add, even maybe before Valtan or right after the release with the new relic sets, let's discuss a bit about these options and why they're important, and what you could be trying to get with your accessories. Now, a very easy way of getting four engravings to maximum level, to level 3, is the following. First of all, you're going to pick a stone, and you need to have +6/+6 on it. My stone is Expert Awakening +6/+6. This means that I can very easily get 2 of my engravings to max level, to level 3, if I just add Expert and Awakening as my engravings. These are +9, so 9 from here and 6 from here. That's going to be automatically a level 3 Awakening, level 3 Expert. So I've already got those covered. Now I'm left with the accessories, and I can pick up 2 more engravings from my accessories at max level. All that I need is to have +3/+3 on all these accessories. So what I've done, I've went with Blessed Aura and Spirit Absorption on all of my accessories, with the corresponding bonus effects, the bonus stats, in order to fix my stats as needed. So I've got Blessed Aura and Spirit Absorption +3/+3 on all 5 accessories, which brings me to which gives me access to 2 more engravings at level 3. So this is very easy, a very easy way of getting four engravings at level 3, and it's something that you should be looking for. And if it's not too much of an investment, and if it's not too expensive, you can start working on that as well. As we move forward, and we're gonna increase these with legendary engraving recipes, and we're gonna get them to +12. Then it's gonna be even easier, and we're gonna start working towards our 5th. So if you're looking to get the 4th, this is a very easy way. You get a +6/+6 stone. You compensate that with the 2 engravings from here, and then all of your accessories go +3/+3 on the other 2. So one of your class engraving and the other one that you're going to be choosing, depending on what playstyle you wanna use. I'm going to talk a bit about these engravings and the value that each of them brings, and you can make a decision depending on your playstyle and whatever you want to do and the way that you want to play your character. As you've seen, I've picked Spirit Absorption, so I'm just going to talk about this first, and to make the point why I picked this. As you can see, Spirit Absorption at level 3 grants +15% attack speed and movement speed. As you know, attack speed also affects our skills and the cast time of skills. So it's something that's very useful, and movement speed as well allows us to be more mobile. Now, the reason why I went for Spirit Absorption is because, especially with the new relic set that's going to come out, we're going to see a slight transition or at least I'm going to try to make a transition from the full swiftness build with a little bit of specialization. I'm going to make a transition into a full specialization build and having the swiftness compensate on the side. So I'm going to move over and focus on specialization, and then I'm going to only have a lower amount of swiftness. The reason why I wanted to do this is because specialization it also increases the efficiency of Holy Aura, and it also allows you to generate a special meter, and therefore you're going to have much more uptime on your Blessed Aura with a much more increased efficiency of the buffs from the Holy Aura. So I wanted to make this switch in towards a specialization build, and the fact that I went for Spirit Absorption is also going to compensate for the movement speed that I had from going swiftness, and it's also going to help me with the attack speed as well. So it's going to help me keep a healthy balance in terms of combat stats as well. Now, another option, as I've mentioned before, is drops of ether. This is something that you can be looking into. This is something that further buffs your party, and as a support, this is actually what you want to do. So this is going to be an obvious choice and a very good choice in order to further buff your party. This has a chance of spawning ethers whenever you're hitting the boss. I'm sure that you've seen the ethers. They're like the little blobs and different colors that spawn on the ground, and whenever your allies pick them, they have a chance of granting movement speed or attack power or different combat buffs. This is a very good engraving to go for, and as I was saying, it buffs your party further. The only drawback from this, and the reason why I didn't go straight for it, is that this one depends on your teammates actually going and collecting them, or actually having the opportunity or the chance to go and collect these ethers from the ground. So if they don't have that opportunity, then the engraving doesn't always go to full use. If it's a very the fight is very easy to maneuver, and it's very hard to maneuver, and it's very hard to work around. And this is going to be a bit difficult, especially in new fights, whenever people are still getting used to positioning and so on. So it might not have its full potential or its full effect at the beginning of a new release like this Legion release. But this is definitely something to keep in mind and something to look for, because it's a very, very good engraving to have. I've touched on this on Vital Point Hit a bit earlier, but I'm just going to reiterate what I was saying. Most of these encounters that we're going to go through moving forward are going to have these difficult stagger checks. So you're going to have to bring your bombs, you're going to have your skills off cooldown in order to properly stagger the boss. So having this Vital Point Hit as one of your engravings is going to be very helpful in terms of meeting all of those stagger checks that we're going to experience going forward in the game, going forward through Legion encounters. So this is definitely something to look forward to. Maybe if you're looking to go for hard mode in the first week or in the first weeks, this is something that you should consider for hard mode Valtan. Maybe it's something that's you're going to find useful for breaking those stagger checks. And last but not least, we've got heavy armor as another good option for engravings. At level 3, as you can see, this increases your defenses by 100%, and it doesn't have any sort of diminishing returns, so it's a flat increase in defense. You're going to actively become way more tanky than you were before. And if you're in a group and you find that this is a role that you must fill, with your guild or whatever, or if this is just your playstyle and you want to face tank stuff and you want to sit in mechanics and you want to be able to focus on other things, this is something that you can definitely consider. And it, of course, defenses mean everything. You're going to take less damage, you're going to have a lot more armor, and so on and so forth. So if that's the role that you're looking to fill and you want to be this tanky character and have this role for your group, this is definitely something that you should focus on. As paladins, I was saying in my previous video as well, paladins are pretty tanky by themselves, so it's not necessarily something that you need to get as a paladin. So this is why I didn't choose this as my fourth engraving, just because it doesn't really boost my my buffing capabilities as much as the other two, which is drops of ether and spirit absorption. So these are mainly the options that you have as a fourth engraving, and as we move forward for the fifth engraving as well for paladins. As I was saying, make a decision depending on your playstyle and whatever you find that is more suitable to the way that you want to play. I went for spirit absorption because this fits my playstyle and I wanted to focus on boosting my buffs and having more uptime on my blessed aura. That was just a decision that I made. But you can also go for drops of ether as well, and it's just as useful. Keep in mind that if you're going to get accessories that include these engravings, you're looking at possibly selling them for a good amount of gold on the auction house. So keep an eye out for these 4 engravings, especially if they're paired with the class engraving with blessed aura. That's going to be a huge plus. I say as a last point when it comes to our preparation for Valtan, the only other thing that that I wanted to mention is that you can work towards getting a rune that's going to be very, very useful going forward in Legion encounters. So this is a rune that you can put on your gear, and this is where it actually comes from. I'm talking about the Purify rune. This has a 70% chance to remove a debuff whenever the skill that this rune is on is used. This is very, very, it's going to be very useful in keeping your party alive, and whenever there are debuffs throughout all of these Legion encounters, this is a good skill to good rune to have, and it's something that if you can, you should be working towards. But if you don't have it, and if you're not anywhere close, I'm not anywhere close. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish 5 continents by the time Valtan comes out. But if you're not anywhere close, you should keep in mind that we also have sort of a Purify on our Holy Protection. So we have Purify here. So keep in mind that if there's a debuff that you want to remove, you can remove it with Holy Protection. And also another thing that you might want to have at hand are these Sacred Charms, which is, again, it deletes a random debuff from a nearby party member. As I was saying, we are Paladin, so we do have this built-in Purify. This is very, very good for Holy Protection. But as a second measure or something like that, you can also have these Sacred Charms, or you can also try to work towards the Purify rune and have that on one of your skills as another way of clearing debuffs from your party members and keeping them alive a lot more. I'm not going to go into the whole Valtan encounter itself. It's going to be the first time that I'm going to be doing it as well whenever it gets released. I haven't experienced it before. I would suggest that you go look at some guides as well, of course. It's something that you should always do before jumping into the encounter itself. Go have a look at some guides, see what the encounter is about. Try to figure out what your role is going to be in that encounter and how you can improve your teammates' life. And I'm going to try to get it done on the first week when it gets released with my guild, and possibly have a video coming out about the whole experience and the way Paladins should approach this fight. And I'm going to try to have that out in the first week. We'll see how things progress. In the meantime, don't feel any sort of pressure from this. If you're nowhere close 14, 15 or something like that, don't feel any pressure. The content isn't going to go anywhere. I'm going to just show you my roster just to make a point here. My characters are currently, I have a lot of characters in tier 3 because I've been playing the game a lot, but my characters are spread out. So my main is almost 1415, then I have 2 alts that are 1370, then I have some alts that are 1340, and then there's this that's 1326. So my alts are spread out and they have access to different types of content across the entire game, and this is going to progress, and it's going to be the same as we move forward. I'm going to be pushing my main first, and then I'm going to be using some other currency that I have on other alts depending on what I want to play. So I'm going to have this spread in my roster, and I'm going to be doing different types of content on different characters at any given time. We're going to be doing these Legion encounters for a very long time going forward. Even if my main is going to progress and I'm going to be able to do, let's say, Vicus whenever it comes out, I'm still going to have alts that are still going to be doing Argos, or are just going to be doing the normal phase of Valtan and so on and so forth. There's always going to be this distance between alts, and then we're always going to be spread out across this amount of content that we're going to have, and one character is going to be doing one Legion encounter, and then the other ones are going to be doing another one. So there's no real like pressure to actually feel like you need to bring your main to 1445 or something if you don't have the resources. So don't feel like you need to push that. We're always going to be doing these Legion encounters, even if you don't get to do hard mode in the first week, or even normal mode in the first week or the first month or whatever. The Legion encounter itself isn't going to go anywhere, and you're going to be able to go in there, enjoy it, and learn how to do it, and do it yourself as well. Just take your time and go at your pace. and I'm sure that you can reach whatever goals that you've set for yourself. But just make sure that you're enjoying the game, learning your class, enjoying our other classes as well, and just don't really focus on getting these breakpoints, because it's not really meant to be a race, and it's not really meant to be like an external pressure on your gameplay and your game style. Just enjoy it and do whatever you can. And you know, whenever you get to that to the encounter, and whenever you get to Legion raids and so on, there's going to be people doing them, so you're going to have a lot of people to play the game with. It's not something that you should be concerned with. That's, I think, it's going to be a pretty long video, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say in terms of getting ready for the next content patch in Valtan. This is just, as I was saying, just specific to Paladins, and what you should be looking for in terms of next engravings, what you should be looking on for in terms of you know, making some gold and getting some good accessories. So until next time, until the very first week, as I was saying, when I'm possibly going to be putting out the Valtan video, but I'm also going to be streaming it. So until then, just have fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.